This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 10. And it reads, "And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land." Genesis 26 and 1. "And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar." Genesis 41 and 27. "And the 7 thin and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine." Genesis 41 and 30. "And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land." So with that, giving all praises, glory and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. YAHAWAH is the name of the Heavenly Father in whom the world has ignorantly called Jehovah, or Yahweh, and YAHAWASHI is the name of his only begotten Son in whom the world has ignorantly called Jesus Christ, in whom we do worship. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings, giving double honors unto my apostles and my elders and teachers at Great Millstone that are ruling well and continue to do so, that taught me and brothers like me this truth, this beautiful truth, beginning with the names of our power. YAHAWAH, being the name of the Heavenly Father. Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning exist or is to be. He is, he exists, he, the existing one. And in the name of his only begotten Son, a name above every name, given amongst men here on earth, to the Israelite man first, and to the true believers to call upon and be saved. The name YAHAWASHI, Yah meaning he, Hawashai meaning deliverer and savior. Now those are the 2 most important things you will ever know. Coming into this truth is the name of the Heavenly Father and his Son, to call upon and be saved. To call upon those names and see the power thereof. So I read these scriptures going into famine. I have an article going into this coming famine. All right, it's very severe. We're in these times, man. What brothers, the elders, the apostles have been prophesying, what the men of old wrote down and seen these times and how severe they were going to get. But they seen the mighty hand of YAHAWAH covering his elect, his chosen ones, his beloved ones. And the mighty hand of YAHAWAH also stretched out to smite the wicked of the land, place, city. But we know at this time the Lord is going to smite the earth. He's going to judge it for its evil. All right, but even in the midst of that, what did our forefathers do in their times of distress? I read Genesis 12 and 10 when Abram, before his name was changed to Abraham, our forefather, went down into Egypt. And what befell him there is a beautiful thing. And also what happened unto Isaac and what befell him when the famine hit. They listened to the Spirit of the Lord and moved, and the Lord blessed him exceedingly. When Abraham went down into Egypt, he told Sarah, "Hey, say that you're my sister and not my wife, or surely they will kill me and take you." But then the beauty of Sarah was so great that Pharaoh gave Abraham cattle, all types of servants, everything. But then when he found out that Sarah actually was Abraham's wife and not his sister, he told him, like, leave, get out of here. Like we feared the penalty of doing such a thing, adultery. But he let Abraham go with all his substance. As the Spirit of the Lord, BARAK. Then going down into the time of Isaac, the famine was just as severe as in the days of his father Abraham. All right, and Isaac went to sojourn, not in Egypt, because the Lord told him, don't go down to Egypt, but go into the land of the Philistines. And he dwelt in the land of Gerar, if I'm not mistaken, and made a pact with Abimelech, the king of the Philistines. When he asked, "Oh, who is that? Who's that with you?" Which was Rebekah, who was with Isaac. And he said the same thing Abraham said, "No, this is my sister." But then Abimelech found out, "No, that's your wife." And he's like, "Why did you say all that?" Pretty much, go your way. Nothing will happen to you. I'm going to put out a decree to all my men not to touch you, nor your substance, nor your woman, your wife. And then it got to a point where there was a decree put out. If any man touches Isaac, it shall surely be put to death. So the Lord was with our forefathers and everything in a famine. See how they were moving? They were moving off the spirit of the Lord. And let me get something real quick. Let's go here. In those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Let me get that. And I'm going to play this clip from Avatar, The Last Airbender, when he was given his identity, which was the spirit of the Lord. But what his mentor tells him, though, is spiritual, because we're at that time. Second Esdras 16 and 40. We know the famine is coming, and we're preparing for it. Just like Joseph knew of the coming famine through the dreams, prepared for it. Abraham suffered, the famine was severe in the land that he had to move, had to go down into Egypt before time. But then he was greatly blessed when he went down there, moving in the spirit and fear of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. And what I thought of when I read the stories, I had to read them over. It's beautiful. I was screaming, I was shouting, I was praising YAHAWASHI. That the love that he had for our forefathers, like, damn, even in the midst of danger, like, damn. Abraham and Isaac were quick on their feet, but it reminded me of what Yahawashi said. In that hour, don't even think of what you're going to say, for the Spirit is going to give you what to say. Woo! Spirit gave both of them what to say at that moment, and they were greatly blessed after it because they moved in the fear of the Lord. In the midst of a famine, mind you, right? And they were greatly blessed in a place that had abundance because the Lord knows. Hey. And I thought of when your ways please the Lord, he'll make even your enemies to be at peace with you. Because easily the Egyptians could have became enemies to Abraham, but they didn't. And easily the Philistines, under the rule of Abimelech, the king of the Philistines during the time of Isaac, our forefather, could have became an enemy very easily. But since they moved in the fear of the Lord, our forefathers, the Lord made their enemies to be at peace with them. Woo! So the Lord's going to do the same for us. Now, this is 2 Esdras 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Now, and when you read up above, it goes into famine. It goes into scarcity. It goes into the land being hit with the plagues of Egypt. It goes into men searching the houses with the sword. Men being killed in the famine and the war, young men dying, the virgins crying because they have no helpers. These things all were said before I got to this particular verse. But what did the Lord say? Oh, my people, talking to the elect, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. It's going to be, it's like a battle. You go in expecting to win, but you don't know what it entails. So you got to be ready for anything. But when you walk in the spirit of the Lord, you don't fear anything because he's guiding you. He's leading you. He's giving you what to say. All right. So, these times are not to be fearful for us. This is what we've been talking about. But it is here. Like, woo, to see how close it truly is. Like, man. But we just keep doing what we've been doing. Trusting in Yahweh BAHASHAM. He said, neither fear, don't doubt, for the Lord is your guide. And he is the guide of them who keep his commandments and precepts. This 2 Esdras 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So, that's what you have to be. Trust in Yahweh BAHASHAM. He's going to sustain thee. Let me get that in Sirach 40. Salakia. Sirach 40 and 26, right about here. Riches and strength lift up the heart, the mind, but the fear of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is above them both. There is no want, lack in the fear of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and it needed not to seek help. Okay? Let me read verse 27. The fear of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is a fruitful garden and covereth him above all glory. Sit. Now let's go to 2 Esdras 6. Going into that famine. I'm going to read this article, play this clip. I'm going to go back to the blue letter. And I might as well just go into at least the story of Abraham, how he left with great substance, which is the spirit of the Lord, man. I'll just get that real quick. But before I do, let me get Genesis 41 and 31. And it reads, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine. Now, this happened before. We're entering into a time which is worse than any other time since there was a nation on the earth. So how severe will this famine be? Now, you got to remember, the lands of the past, you know, the farmers of that age, you know, even Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, our forefathers, they moved around. They kept the land Sabbaths without even, you know, because it was oral then. The law was oral then. But in this world, they don't keep the land Sabbath. They just they just plow the earth into submission, into nothing. So this famine is going to be very severe because why? When the Lord brings a famine, a true famine, you can't even plow or reap because the land ain't even going to yield. That's why the years of famine in Egypt was so severe that all the nations around about had to go down to Egypt for grain because Joseph foreseen the famine coming and how severe it was going to be in all lands, to the point where our forefathers, the tribes, had to come up from the land of Canaan, the land of milk and honey, fruitful land, right? Had to come up down into Egypt to get the substance because Joseph was there. It goes to show you that when the Lord brings a famine, it is severe. Like, you can't, even if you wanted to plant, you can't. That's why I said in Second Esdras, when it talks about Egypt, it said that they have a fearful constellation, the farmers, knowing that it ain't even the season, out of season, or just the land is not even plowable. Man. So, hey, that's where we at right now. This is Genesis 41:31 again. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. But this is what Joseph did, moved quickly. Genesis 41:36. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine, but all lands will begin to perish because of this famine. Is going to pretty much dive into Second Esdras 15 and 16. You're going to see it come to life when men invading one another, no access to the cities, you know, by reason of the famine, they're going to be forced to invade one another. Okay, now let's go into this story of Abraham. I'm going to play this clip.
With the 4 avatar relics, these items belong to avatars past, your own past lives.
I just chose them because they seem fun.
You chose them because they were familiar.
Normally, we would have told you of your identity when you turned 16. But there are troubling signs. Storm clouds are gathering.
I fear that war may be upon us, young Avatar.
We need you, Aang.
Woo! Storm clouds are gathering, man. War may be upon us. You got the famine here. What's going to ensue? War. What's going to ensue? Invading one another. What else is going to ensue? Darkness. What else is going to ensue? Pestilence, plague, diseases. Now this is Genesis 12 and 12 and 10. Salaki. It says Abram and Sarai in Egypt. It says at that time a severe famine struck the land of Canaan, forcing Abram to go down to Egypt. See, the Lord, what the Lord is sending on the earth is going to force us to move, like as I read in 2 Esdras 16 and 40. O my people, hear my words, be even as pilgrims moving around in those evils. The Lord is going to guide us. As he guided our forefather Abraham, guided Isaac to the places they needed to go to be sustained, even in the midst of a terrible, severe famine. Joseph was in the best place he could have been in. And he was the one to foresee the famine, to prepare for it. You see, the Lord is always going to have us steps ahead through his power, his mighty hand. This is Genesis 12 and 10 again. NLT. At that time, a severe famine struck the land of Canaan, which is Israel, forcing Abram to go down to Egypt, where he lived as a foreigner. Now let's read into it. I'm going to read the NLT versions. Genesis 12 and 11. As he was approaching the border of Egypt, Abram said to his wife Sarai, look, you are very beautiful. You are a very beautiful woman. when the Egyptians see you, I mean, these are the things we're going to have to, you would think about, like, damn, I want to look good. Shit, I got, I got chill. You might be moving with more people. I'll be better off alone. But see how Abraham moved, though. The Lord was with him in the whole situation. But look how he's going to be greatly blessed. Now, he's leaving the land, obviously, because of the famine, right? Going down into Egypt, right? He was a sojourner there, stranger, right? And look at what the Lord's going to do. Is when the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Let's kill him, then we can have her. See? It is the things that men think of. It said to cast off the weak nature. YAHAWASHI has us. He has everything that pertains unto us. But watch how the Lord blesses Abram, our forefather, through the things which he possesses and through his faith. And through his obedience of listening to the Lord to go down into Egypt. Like, man, I gotta go down, can't go nowhere. I gotta go down there. It's the only place. But the Lord is with me. No fear. It says, so please tell them you are my sister. Then they will spare my life and treat me well because of their interest in you. Man. It says, and sure enough, when Abram arrived in Egypt, everyone noticed Sarai's beauty. Because our woman is bad like that. And even what brothers have, we have a beautiful woman in the form of wisdom, this truth. And the people going to see it. They're going to see a glow. And you're like, who the fuck, man? Tell me, who is this guy, man? Hold up. I need to get where he at. And goes to show, I think about another scripture. In the time of evil, the enemy shall entreat thee well in the time of evil. That's in Jeremiah. So we have nothing to worry about, brethren. If we trust in YAHAWASHI, yeah, the storm clouds are gathering. War is upon us. But hey, YAHAWASHI says he's going to keep us from the power of the sword and famine and destruction. We're going to laugh. We're going to have abundance. That the Lord's hand is going to cover us so much so that our children, if you have little ones, that they shall not see the grave. Hell. It says when the palace officials saw her, they sang her praises to Pharaoh, their king. And Sarai was taken into his palace. Then Pharaoh gave Abram many gifts. See how he's blessed Abram, our forefather, with many gifts because of her. Woo! Sheep, goats, cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. Woo! You see? Woo! Barakatah YAHAWASHI, man. They may prepare it, but the just shall put it on. That's what I think about. It says, but the Lord, YAHAWAH sent terrible plagues upon Pharaoh and his household because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So, hey, if the people around us is moving evil, it don't matter where we move to, wherever we have to pack up, leave, be someplace for a minute, pack up, keep moving. Wherever we're at, the Lord is going to plague the hell out of the people that want to do us harm or wrong or steal from us. And then he's going to make them to be for us. Because our ways please him, he's going to make even our enemies, potential enemies, to be at peace with us. And I like how I stopped it right here where my man Aang got his eyes closed, how he praying. Hey, that's it. We just going to quiet our mind and trust in YAHAWASHI, man. It says, but the Lord, YAHAWAH, sent terrible plagues upon Pharaoh and his household because of Sarai, Abram's wife. Man. So Pharaoh summoned Abram, and accused him sharply. What have you done to me? He demanded. Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister and allow me to take her as my wife? Now then, here's your wife. Take her and get out of here. Right? Because, hey, they going to realize in that time we are truly men of the Lord. Like, we move different like that. Like, nah, bro, what I said was the wisest thing to say at the moment at hand. Because what we're going to say in these times, what we're going to do in these times is going to be all of YAHAWASHI. He told us not even to think about what we're going to say in the hour. The Lord's going to be with us the whole time. It says Pharaoh ordered some of his men to escort them. And he sent Abram out of the country along with his wife and all his possessions. You would have thought like this dude, man, hey, fuck you, get out of here. I'm taking all that shit back that I gave you, But no, he let him go with that. You see how the Lord blessed him? Woo! Barakatah YAHAWASHI had me screaming when I read that. Like, woo, man. I haven't went over it in a minute, but you see how it was a severe famine. Abraham was forced to go down into Egypt. Booming through, through Sarah. Being something that the Lord used, like, hey, to bless him and to send a sharp judgment to Pharaoh. Like, no, don't you touch this one. This is mine. This is my servant. Then he blessed him with all those things. And you would think, you would take all that back. But you see how the Lord controls all minds of everybody everywhere. Abraham's ways pleased the Lord, that he made his enemy, that could have been a potential enemy, at peace with him, send him out of the country with all his possessions. Woo! Man. Sit. Now let's go to Genesis 26 and go into Isaac. And Isaac, there was a severe famine that struck in the days of Isaac, who we know who that is in the spirit. It says Isaac deceives Abimelech, right? And let's see what happens. It says a severe famine now struck the land, as had happened before in Abraham's time. So Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, potential enemies again, heathens, right? But yeah, look what the Lord's going to do. All right, bear with me. Making good time. All right. It says a severe famine now struck the land, as had happened before in Abraham's time. I'm reading in the NLT, Salakia. It says, so Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, lived. The Lord appeared. See? This is why even Isaac moved, because the Lord appeared unto him like, everything's going to be fine. It's going to be all right. Just go. But don't go. But look what he's going to tell him. Don't go to Egypt, though. Because, that would be a place to go. Like, all right, well, I'll go to Egypt, That's where Abraham, my father, went. Okay, I'll go down there. But look what the Lord's going to tell him. And the Lord appeared to Isaac and said, do not go down to Egypt, but do as I tell you. The Lord's going to be our guide. It says, live here as a foreigner in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. I hereby confirm that I will give all these lands to you and your descendants, just as I solemnly promised Abraham, your father. I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars of the sky, and I will give them all these lands. And through your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. Right? Now let's go to the point. Well, I'll just keep reading. Might as well. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, commands, decrees, and instructions. So Isaac stayed in Gerar, A144. Woo! When the men who lived there asked Isaac about his wife, Rebekah, he said, look at what Isaac's going to say. The same thing Abraham said when he went down to Egypt. She is my sister. He was afraid to say she is my wife. He thought they will kill me to get her because she is so beautiful. Hey, see? But sometime later, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out his window, and saw Isaac caressing Rebekah and sporting with her. Like, yeah, Dad, it's my woman. But hey, let's see what happens. Immediately, Abimelech called for Isaac and exclaimed, she is obviously your wife. Why did you say she is my sister? Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get her from me. Isaac replied. See how he's moving wise? See how our forefathers moving wise through the spirit of YAHAWASHI? But see how Isaac is going to be blessed. Look at this, man. It says, one of my people might easily have taken your wife and slept with her, and you would have made us guilty of great sin. As y'all remember, the laws was oral then. The heathens knew round about what to do and what not to do. It was like a universal thing. Like, don't do that. You do that. Right? But how much more for the men of the Lord that are walking with the Lord like Enoch, doing all things that please him in their life? Will he not make even their enemies, potential enemies, to be at peace? And whatever they prepare, will they not put it on? It says, then Abimelech issued a public proclamation. Anyone who touches this man or his wife will be put to death. Woo! And that had me exclaiming again, like, woo! Barakatah YAHAWASHI. Hey, it may be, wherever you go, it might be, don't touch them over there. Leave them the hell alone. Because it tells you was the second address, where it says that the heathen shall envy thee, but shall be able to do nothing against thee. The Lord's going to give us an abundance. And I remember a brother, I believe it was in the Dallas camp. Forgive me, brother, if I don't remember your name. But he said, the heathens and our enemies would have to be somewhat close. They would have to be close enough to see us being blessed and them being without. In order for them to envy us, they will have to see us in the blessing of the Lord, blessing us with food and abundance and safety. And I was like, damn, that is true. It says conflict over water rights. Well after well was Isaac blessed, you know, and the Lord just kept blessing him. You know, let's get to a point. Let's go to when Abimelech came back. Well, I might as well just read down. I'll start. Start at verse 12. It says, when Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100. Now, you got to remember that Isaac left the land he was in because of famine. But look how the Lord's going to bless him in another land, in the place he moved to, where he had to sojourn. He listened to the voice of the Lord and went to where the Lord told him to go. Regardless of the dangers. Oh, well, damn, the Philistines dwell in that land, and, you know, but he still went. Like, I don't give a damn. The Lord's with me. It says, when Isaac planted his crop that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted. See, the Lord's going to bless us wherever we go more than what we thought, because we trust in him. He's going to fill up our baskets. All right. Daily, the Lord loadeth up us with benefits. It says, when Isaac planted his crop that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted. For the Lord YAHAWAH blessed him. He became a very rich man, and his wealth continued to grow. Woo, in the midst of a famine, mind you. I remember you got to put yourself in the time period. Like, okay, there's a great severe famine in the land I was in, but now I'm in this new land being greatly blessed by the Lord. Woo, BARAK YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Says he acquired so many flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle and servants, that the Philistines became jealous of him. Going into that scripture that shall envy thee, but shall be able to do nothing against thee. Let me get that. Second address, the second chapter. Let's get that. Now you see it come to life. Now you see an example of it in our past with our forefathers. Salakia. All right, second address 2:26. And it reads, as for the servants whom I have given thee, the elect, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh. Now those were days of trouble and heaviness for Abraham. When the famine hit, it was severe. He went down to Egypt. He was blessed, and then he was sent out of the land, which was the Spirit of the Lord. Same with Isaac. A famine was just as severe as in the days of Abraham, his father. He had to go not into Egypt, but where the Lord sent him, and that was in the land of the Philistines, Gerar to be exact, and he was greatly blessed. Okay, let's read into it. It says, be not weary, for when the days of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord YAHAWAH. BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, my hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hail. How about that? And you know what I think about with the children? I think about Joseph, because I believe 2 years before the famine came in, he had Manasseh and Ephraim. It goes to show you that he wasn't even worried. Like, you would think, I ain't have no children, famine's coming. But no, he still had children right before the famine came. Knowing that YAHAWAH was with him, knowing that he had prepared Egypt for the years of famine through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and that he was over all the affairs in Egypt, and that his children was going to be cool and safe and good. You see, we had to have that same mind state. and how Abraham was blessed, you would think all those things that he was given would be taken from him. But nah, he was sent out of the land with his possessions. Same with Isaac. He went into a land and prospered, became very wealthy, right? That the Philistines became jealous of him. Let's see what happens. So the Philistines, this is Genesis 26:15. So the Philistines filled up all of Isaac's wells with dirt, damn assholes. These were the wells that had been dug by the servants of his father Abraham. Finally, Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country. Go Salakia. You know, every time, you in the midst of a lesson, somebody ought to call you. It says, finally, Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country. Go somewhere else, he said, for you have become too powerful for us. Man, see? I'm telling you, brothers, man, I believe in the days when we moving around, as the Lord said, be as pilgrims in those evils. Everywhere we go is going to be a blessing, more of a blessing, man. And the people around you, get out of here. And that's going to be the Spirit telling you, well, okay, they telling me to get out of here. Well, that's the Spirit of the Lord that wants me to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to keep moving. I can't just stay here and get comfortable here. Let me move on. Let me keep moving. And we're going to be blessed every time. It says, finally, Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country. Go somewhere else, he said, for you have become too powerful for us. So Isaac moved away to the Gerar Valley, where he set up their tents and settled down. He reopened the wells his father had dug, which the Philistines had filled in after Abraham's death. Isaac also restored the names Abraham had given them. They coming in the name of YAHAWASHI, man. Everywhere you go, the Lord shall bless. It tells you that. And where you enter it, the Lord shall bless. Let me get that. Shall bless. Lord shall bless. Salakia, brother, I wanted to get straight famine and destruction on Jake, but through the Spirit I'm going into really, the elect being cool, just like our forefathers were, because they were moving in the Spirit of the Lord, so the Lord blessed them greatly. Now, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Don't even trip. Be blessed. Oh, shout the Lord. Shall bless. Salakia. Here we go. Bear with me, brother. Salakia. Yeah. Come on. Enter it, the Lord shall bless. Enter. Let me get that. Enter it, the Lord shall. Entereth. Ooh, Ecclesiasticus 4:13. He that holdeth her fast, wisdom, shall inherit glory, and wheresoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. See how the Lord was blessing our forefather Abraham, then he blessed Isaac, because wisdom was with them, right? It was a gift of the Lord. Even though those men of the lands was eyeing their physical women, because they were beautiful, how much more the spiritual woman, wisdom? Do they not want that? Like, who the hell is this guy, man? But then they yet see the blessings of the Lord on him. Now let's go back to the story. It says, reading on, it says, Isaac's servants also dug in the Gerar Valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. This is our water, being demons. They said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdmen. So Isaac named the well Esek, which means argument, which I really want to get that actual Hebrew word. Let's go there. I want to get the actual pronunciation. Ain't no damn ease in the Hebrew. Let's get the real word of it. Called the name of the well. The word there is Ishak. Ishak. So Ishak. Contention. Ishak. All right. That's right. And it means argument or contention. Because, things are going to rise and happen in these days. Niggas are going to be bugging out at the gas station fighting. But the Lord's going to have you move. Like, don't go there, go over there. Don't go over there, go here. Like, even right now, you see it. Like, don't go over there, go over there. Lord always leads you to the better place to avoid contention. And then, even in the midst of the contention, all right, man, you got it. You get better. It said Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a dispute over it. So Isaac named it Sitnah, which means hostility. All right, now let's get the actual word for that in the Hebrew, just the pronunciation. You know, that's all I really want. The word there is shatnah. Shatnah. Yeah, shatnah. Hostility. Because we're going to be in some hostile times. The savage times, but we ain't going to have to worry, because if always please YAHAWASHI, he'll make even our enemies, potential enemies, who is the enemy, to be at peace with us. How about that? We have to believe these things, believe in miracles. It says, abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. This time, there was no dispute over it. So Isaac named the place Rehoboth, which means open space. For he said, at last, the Lord YAHAWASHI, or the Lord Yahawah, as we know who Isaac is, the Lord Yahawah has created enough space for us to prosper in this land. Because the Lord's going to have space between us and our enemies in these evil days, I believe. Like, you know, your ass stay over there, and my people going to be right there. You leave them the hell alone. Right? And there's going to be a clear difference. Then shall you know who are my chosen. Okay? Now let's get that word in the Hebrew. All right, which means the Lord has made space, you know. At last, you know. The word there is RAWCHAA. RAWCHAA. Ooh, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's wide place, streets. Okay, bro. Yeah. I know that's not the ha is the, and that's why the Assyrian is so bugged out. It's RAWCHAA. RAWCHAA. When I think of RAWCHAA, is like the spirit. Like the spirit is gonna make a place. All right. It says wide places or streets. Yep. RAWCHAA. Yep. RAWCHAA. Broad or open place or plaza. Yeah, the Lord gonna give us space. Like, no, that's where they at, and y'all go somewhere else. Right? That's the spirit. Let's go back to the story. It says, from there, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord Yahawah appeared to him on the night of his arrival. I am the power of your father, Abraham. He said, do not be afraid, for I am with you and will bless you. I will multiply your descendants, and they will become a great nation. I will do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant. Then Isaac built an altar there and worshipped the Lord Yahawah. He set up his camp at that place, and his servants dug another well. See how they just was having water after water after water, and we're coming into a damn water shortage. But the Lord's gonna bless us. He's gonna bless those that trust in him. Come on, BARAK YAHAWASHI. Shoot, a dude might like you so much, or whoever the hell you with, or your spirit, that he might bless you, just like the king of Egypt blessed Abraham, and was like, man, I didn't know all that, man. Why you even tell me that, yo? But go on, get out of here. But yeah, all the stuff he gave you, go on, take that, whatever, man. Because for the Lord's sake, the people that want to be evil to us is going to be plagued, and those that are cool with us, they're going to be blessed. Or they're going to try to make a covenant with us. Like, all right, man, you cool? Hey, you got it. It's Genesis 26. Genesis 26 and 26. Isaac's covenant with Abimelech. One day, King Abimelech came from Gerar with his advisor, Ahuzath, and also Pikol, his army commander. And look what Isaac is going to say. Why have you come here? Isaac asked. You obviously hate me since you kicked me off your land. And as the spirit, because brothers are going to be moving around, and you might have some people come up like, what the hell they want, man? Thought y'all told us to get out of there. We moving in, Jake, brothers, all right, man, you got it, whatever, we'll leave. But they say they come back. But look at what Abimelech did. He came back. Isaac's like, what do you want, man? Obviously, you don't like me, you hate me. What you want? Verse 28, they replied, we can plainly see that the Lord, is with you. So we want to enter into a sworn treaty with you. Let's make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you away from us in peace. And now, look how the Lord, Yahawah, has blessed you. So Isaac prepared a covenant feast to celebrate the treaty, and they ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they each took a solemn oath not to interfere with each other. Then Isaac sent them home again, and they left him in peace. That very day, Isaac's servants came and told him about a new well they had dug. We found water, they exclaimed. So Isaac named the well Sheba, which means oath. And to this day, the town that grew up there is called Bir Sheba, which means well of the oath. There it is. So the Lord is going, man, the Lord is going to bless us, brothers. I know he is. He's blessed our forefathers, right? So we're going to go into a couple of scriptures about famine, you know, the severity of it. That's going to hit our people that are wicked. They ain't moving in the spirit of Yahawashi, and they going to be through. But see how our forefathers was blessed in the midst of those famines? They were greatly increased. Come on, man. BARAK Yahawashi. Oh, yeah, and also I got to get this article. Okay. Bear with me, brothers. Put that up top. Let's put this right here. And let's go into it. Let's go into Psalm. Go to Psalm real quick, and then we're going to go to that in Kings. All right. Let's go to Job. Job 5:20 for the elect. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. Woo! He did it for our forefathers. And in war from the power of the sword. See? Because Abimelech came with his army commander. What the hell you want? He could have easily attacked Isaac, went to war with him or whatever, you know? But the Lord protected Isaac from the power of the sword, Abraham from being slain in Egypt, okay? And many of our forefathers, you see? Will he not do it for us in this time? And give us abundance even in the midst of moving around, being as pilgrims upon the earth? It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Woo! Job 5:22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. We're going to be in good case. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, because the animals going to be hungry, but they're going to be in league with you, just like how the ravens fed Elijah during his time when that famine struck Samaria. But he was replenished. He was fed. He was taken care of. All right. That's it. This is Psalm 33:19. To deliver their soul from death, the elect, and to keep them alive in famine. That's the purpose of the Lord for his chosen ones. Psalm 37:19. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time. The elect. You brethren out there, you sisters, you believers. You shall not be ashamed. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. Ooh. Man, you see that? That's it. Now, this is what's happening in Babylon. This is Isaiah 51:19. It pertained to Israel at the time, but now it pertains to Babylon. These two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Ooh. Who's going to comfort this place of all the plagues that's going to hit it? And it's not just here in America, Babylon. It's all over the world. Okay? It's Jeremiah 5:12 for these false prophets. It's Jeremiah 5:12. They have belied the Lord. These damn Christian pastors, these other camps that's not talking about what's really going on. They're through. They have belied the Lord and said it is not he, neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. But yeah, you're going to see sword and famine. This is Jeremiah 11:22. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawah of hosts, behold, I will punish them. The young men shall die by the sword warfare. Their sons and their daughters shall die by famine. Those that are not under the guise of Yahawashi, their sons and daughters shall perish with famine, and they shall die by the sword. But yet for the elect, said he's going to keep you from the power of the sword, and he's going to keep you alive in famine. See that? Woo, the difference. And I'm going to stick with YAHAWASHI. You know, I'm not, hey, I'd rather be on his side than in his wrath, you know. Okay. Ooh, Jeremiah 14:12. Now this famine is going to force Jake ass to fast because they don't even know what the hell fasting is. You know, the only fast they know is fast food. They don't know how to fast, man. But this is what the Lord is saying through Jeremiah. Jeremiah 14:12. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offerings, which we don't even do that anymore, but your own body is now a sacrifice. Lord ain't even going to accept your body. Like, I don't give a damn what you saying. You crying. I don't care. I don't hear that. It says, and when they offer burnt offering and oblation, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword and by the famine and by the pestilence. Woo, man, the Lord ain't playing no games. Man, this is Jeremiah 14:13 for you false prophets. Then said I, Lord power, YAHAWASHI power, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place. Right? Now let's jump to the point. Jeremiah 14:15. Therefore, thus saith the Lord YAHAWASHI concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. And you cannot say that it's not coming because it is here. Everybody can see it, man. Before you guys saying that it was never going to come, hey, you going to be consumed by those things. Okay? Man. And this is what Jeremiah said of you wicked Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians that hate us, that talk shit, that just think you got it. This is what Jeremiah prayed for you. Therefore, deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children and be widows, and let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. That's what Jeremiah prayed. And Jeremiah loved our people. We love our people, but we know how evil and wicked our people are. So, hey, the same must know it after death by pain. Okay, now let's go up to the book of Kings, that the famine got so severe that the ass's head was so. Here we go. 2 Kings 6:25, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head, something you ain't even supposed to eat, was sold for 80 pieces of silver, hyperinflation, and the fourth part of a calf's of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. Things that you ain't even supposed to eat, they were selling that, and it was hyperinflated too. Man, how about that? That's, hey, and it's gonna happen again. But the elect will be fed. Verily, they shall be fed. All right. Entreat. Let me get that. And then we're going to read that and go into this article. It's not too long, so I can still bring it out. Entreat. Jeremiah 15, Jeremiah 15:11. The Lord YAHAWASHI said, verily it shall be well with thy remnant, the elect. Verily I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. Beautiful. Call all YAHAWASHI. Okay. Let's go there. Jeremiah 15:11. And we seen it even in Jeremiah's life. If you read, Jeremiah, how he was entreated well. Goes to show you, man. Now this is in the NLT, Jeremiah 15:11 NLT. The Lord YAHAWASHI replied, I will take care of you, Jeremiah. Your enemies will ask you to plead on their behalf in times of trouble and distress. Right? And they gonna do you good. Like, man, go on. Hey, we were ready with Abraham. So why you didn't tell me all this? And you would have thought, well, he's the king of Egypt. He can take all that what he gave Abraham back. But he told Abraham to leave with Sarah and all his possessions, including the servants, the cattle, everything. Like, woo, you see that? They're going to be pleading like, man, go on, man. I know the Lord's with you. And make a covenant with me, make a pact. Just like Abimelech made a pact with Isaac. Like, man, hey, if you so strong in the land, please don't harm us. You know, hey, we treated you well. We sent you away in peace. Do the same on our behalf. So that's the spirit. But well, I'll end with those scriptures. But let me go to this article real quick. Let me get this. 2nd Esdras 6. 2nd Esdras 6 and 22. And it reads, 2nd Esdras 6 and 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, your stores found empty. Why? Because there's diesel shortage, and that's how the trucks move, and that's how these certain factories produce and stay up running through that fuel, right? But if those things are in a shortage, or there is none in supply, what's going to happen to getting your food from one place to another? Storehouse is going to be found empty. And if there ain't trucks coming every 3 days, which that's when the society is running smoothly functioning, within a day, the supply that those trucks put in the store could be gone within a day, because people going to panic going there, and then stores is empty out. The stores will be emptied out. Then those that can't get to the food are going to go to the people that have the food, hence invading one another. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid, the alarm. Going into these videos, going into the signs that the Lord has given, going into the trouble that he's sending in the city. Have the Lord not done it? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Come on, man. All these headlines are like trumpets being blown. The newscasters is like a trumpet. The men of the Lord, we're the newscasters. We're a trumpet. Okay? Every person is afraid in themselves. Like, damn, it's really going down. Yep, you damn right it is. 2nd Esdras 6 and 24. At that time, you see this? Shall friends fight one against another. Why? Like enemies. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still. And in 3 hours they shall not run, because everything's interconnected. Once the energy goes off, the power, that's your gas, your heating. That's your the lights. That's the water. All is interconnected. Right? Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape, the elect, and see my salvation and the end of your world. See that? Lord's gonna have his chosen ones. Okay, bear with me. Psalm 37. 25. Let's get up out of there. Let's go to this article. Let's bring him on out. All right. Salaki, what the hell is going on? Okay. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 37, verse 5. Commit thy way unto the Lord YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM. Trust also in him, as our forefather Abram, whose name was changed to Abraham, and our forefather Isaac, and also Jacob, and all our forefathers trusted in the Lord. But preferably Abraham, and Isaac. Because you've seen the blessings that the Lord gave them. When a famine hit, it was severe that they had to leave where they were at and go somewhere else that the Lord told them to go to. And they were greatly blessed because they trusted in the Lord. It says, commit thy way unto the Lord YAHAWAH. BAHASHAM, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he will help you. Woo! Whatever you are thinking about. Like, I don't know. Don't even think about it. The Lord has everything covered. Woo! Man, now let's go to the point I want to get about the bread. Here we go. Second Psalm. So like 2nd Esdras. Think about 2nd Esdras. This is Psalm 37 and 19. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Now I read this before. It's reading in the NLT. They will not be disgraced in hard times. Even in famine, they will have more than enough. The elect. Now let's go to 25 with what David said. Now let me read 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and he delighteth in his ways. NLT, the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. See? And he's the one orchestrating every detail of their life, which is the spiritual. It says, though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. For the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI upholdeth him with his hand. NLT, though they stumble, they will never fall. For the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI holds them by the hand. Verse 25, this is the point. I have been young, and now I'm old, and yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. NLT, once I was young, and now I am old, yet I have never seen the godly abandoned, or their children begging for bread. See that? See that? He is ever merciful, and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. The godly always give generous loans to others, and their children are a blessing. Yeah, because what the men of the Lord do, the way they move, the men, just want to bless them. Like, damn, they cool. The way they move, we know the Lord is with you. They just know. So we ain't got to worry about food insecurity, because our help coming from the Lord. Okay, not like these other people. They have to worry. Now this is the article. It says a food insecurity expert predicts that there's only 10 weeks of wheat supplies left in the world as Russian invasion disrupts production. But say even if they were tilling the land, as it told you in Genesis, that let me get that real quick. Get that in Genesis. So there's 5 more years of famine. So like, yeah. Earring, let me get to put that in there. There we go. Say if you wanted to even plant the crops, how you gonna do it if the Lord is not allowing it? It says, for these 2 years have the famine been in the land. Genesis 45:6. And yet there are 5 years in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. Now what does earing mean? Plowing, nor harvest. See, you see in the picture they're plowing and harvesting. Say you wanted to plow the land. The Lord can make the land so depleted and through that there's no way for you to even plow it or harvest from it in the years that he sends the famine. See? But Joseph knew how many years it would be. And it eventually is going to come to an end. But in this time, you people don't know when the hell is going to be over. We know the end game, but you people don't know the end game. It says Russian invasion of Ukraine has worsened global food supply shortages. An expert told the UN that the world has about only 10 weeks of wheat supplies left. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken blamed Russia for holding food hostage as a war strategy, which ain't even Russia's fault. Say the war didn't even break out. Still famines, still scarcity, still supply chains are low, still trade routes cut off, tensions, not enough, not knowing which way to turn, signs in the heavens, perplexity, distress of nations with perplexity, not having enough resources. These things would have happened regardless of Russia attacking the Ukraine or not. The Lord is doing it. See? So the world has about 10 weeks of wheat supply stored as Russian invasion of Ukraine enters its 4th month, a food insecurity expert told the UN. Sarah Minker, the CEO of agriculture analytics firm Grow Intelligence, told the UN Security Council that the Russian-Ukraine war was not the cause of a food security crisis, but simply added fuel to a fire that was long burning. You see that? See, that's why I said I didn't even know I was going to say that. That's the spirit. Ukraine is considered the world's breadbasket, and Russia and Ukraine combined account for almost a third of the world's wheat exports. How about that? This comes as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken accused Russia of using food as a weapon. Blinken also, that's the kettle called the pot black, or the pot called the kettle black. Goddamn devils over here in the U.S., you pieces of shit. You sending all this goddamn aid to Ukraine, but what about the people in your land? Dummies. The hell up out of here, man. Said that Russia was holding food hostage, not just for Ukrainians, but for millions across the world. The Russian government seems to think that using food as a weapon will help accomplish what its invasion has not. Which, get the hell up out of here, man. It's the Spirit of the Lord that's doing these things. The writing is on the wall for Babylon. The writing said that your kingdom has been the Lord has numbered your kingdom and brought it to an end. Then it said a tekel, the Lord have weighed you in the balance and found you lacking, you through. And then the last one was you farson, which your kingdom is divided. A civil war is coming to this land. Not only because of race or political political preference, but for shortages, for supply being low, for not enough, for scarcity. Okay, that's what's going to lead to the onslaught. All right, that's what's going to lead to the onslaught, man. Says the Russian government seems to think that using food as a weapon will help accomplish what its invasion has not, to break the spirit of the Ukrainian people. And the hell with them, Blinken said. No, it's going to break all spirits, because the Lord is breaking the staff of bread. The Lord controls the minds of these kings. The Lord is the power of hosts, of armies. That war going on in Ukraine is all orchestrated of the Lord. Everything going on is orchestrated of YAHAWASHI. He's the power of hosts. It says Minker said droughts across the world. You see that? Even if the war wasn't even going on in Ukraine, you got droughts, you got this, you got that, you got the, come on, man. But let me read Genesis 45 and where it says, by reason of that famine, they ain't going to remember the years of plenty. Let's go back here. Bear with me, brothers. Salakia. Okay, bear with me. Where is that at? Here it is. Genesis 41 and 31. This famine will be so severe that even the memory of the good years will be erased. How about that? It says, Mika said droughts across the world are contributing to declining wheat resources. Minka said global food supplies are also being impacted by climate change and fertilizer shortages. You see that? Fearful constellation, as it tells you in the Apocrypha. For fearful constellation, let's go there. We'll be at. Okay, okay. We're gonna put this up top. Put that right there. And we're gonna get the sown places appear unsown, right? Let's go to fearful constellation. What is that? Second address 15. Yep, there it is. Second address 15 and 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. But this is the point. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahawah, BAHASHAM, shall bring upon it. They that till the ground, is the point, shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail and with fearful constellation. See that? So there's nothing you can do, man. Damn idiots. Yeah, well, because of Russia, we can't. Nah, even if there was no war going on, still drought, still natural disasters. Okay, signs in the heavens. Says we currently only have 10 weeks of global consumption sitting in the inventory around the world. Conditions today are worse than those experienced in 2007 and 2008. And it's spiritual because that's when the word of the Lord really took a life of his own, first jumping on YouTube. It was on Daily Motion and other places, out there in the streets, But that's what was the beginning. Now we're coming to the famine of the word, just like we're coming to a famine of bread. And all this time our people was playing. All this time you dummies were thinking we were conspiracy theorists and fear mongering. No, we were only telling you, thus saith Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and that was it. And now you gonna suffer the consequences of not listening. All right. This second Esdras 15 and 5 NLT. The Lord Yahweh Bashimashah says, I am going to bring terrible disasters on the whole world. War and famine, death and destruction, because wickedness has spread everywhere and evil has reached its limits. Therefore, the Lord Yahweh Bashimashah says, I will no longer remain silent about the wickedness of these godless people. I will no longer tolerate it. They have murdered innocent people, and the blood they have spilled cries out to me for revenge. The souls of the righteous are constantly pleading for vengeance. You ugly ass women killing your babies. You damn pieces of shit all over the world just killing each other, not even knowing why. Because of your narcissistic assholes. The ones going back to the spirit realm that are being slain without, a recalling of it or a cause, they're crying out to the Lord for vengeance. And that's why the Lord is sending these plagues. And also those that are dwelling on the earth in the midst of the elect, they're pleading for vengeance. Just like the souls transferring back into the spirit realm are pleading for the same thing, man. Revenge, vengeance, man. Verse 9, let there be no doubt, says the Lord Yahweh Bashimashah, I will hear the plea of all the innocent people who have been murdered, and I will take vengeance for what has been done to them. Now let's jump down to 13. The farmers will mourn because their seed will fail to sprout, and their trees will be destroyed by blight, hail, and terrible storms. The world and the people in it are doomed, judged. The war that the war that will bring their destruction, World War III, is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control, while ignoring the legitimate government. There will no longer be free access to cities, martial law, and in the fuel shortages, you ain't even gonna have fuel to get to another city, or your ass is gonna be stranded in one city and there's gonna be a military occupation and you ain't gonna be able to move through. You see? Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, driven by famine. This is the populace, the people, driven by famine, terrible suffering. People will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. See that? Driven by famine. Going back up to the article, and we're going to close out. Minker said estimates from official government agencies from across the world show that wheat inventories at 33% of annual consumption, but added that models created by Grow Intelligence shows that the figure may actually be closer to 20%, a level not seen since 2007 and 2008, when the word first really took a life of its own and blew up. So for all you niggas, Latinos and Native Americans that heard this word throughout all these years and thought it was a joke, now you see the famine encroaching on your ass. Now you see the sword coming for you. That Esau ran up in there in Buffalo. Now you see the sword coming for you. Now you see the pestilence, monkeypox out here. And not only that, CV and all these other diseases is out here, man. So now you see. But for those of you that took heed, blessed are ye. It is important to note that the lowest grain inventory levels the world has ever seen are now occurring while access to fertilizer is highly constrained, she said. And drought in wheat, growing regions around the world is the most extreme it's been in over 20 years. Similar inventory concerns also apply to corn and other grains. It's real, people. It's real, you know? And it's funny because when I was first reading this article, they were selling guns and stuff like that. I was like, what the hell? Now I'm like, that's exactly what it's going to lead to. the gun violence, man. People getting it how they live. All right? But yeah, that pretty much that's the gist of the lesson, you know. The Lord's going to have his elect, man. We have nothing to fear, man. Nothing to fear. Going to have abundance. Okay? Now, I want to get about 2 more scriptures. Ecclesiasticus 39:26 says that the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. These are things that are useful for the whole use of man's life. Principal things. All these things are for good to the godly. So to the sinners, they are turned into evil. See, he is always there for the godly. It's good for the godly. But for sinners, it is turned into evil. This famine for us is a good thing because it's one step closer to our kingdom. And we know that in the midst of this famine, the Lord is going to feed us, sustain us. Before our people that didn't listen to the Lord was laughing, yelling, thinking they own shit don't stink, that they got it. My body, my choice. I'm about me. I'm going to get money. This famine is really going to affect your fucking mind because you know that it's not a joke. It ain't just us saying it anymore. It's all these economists, all these preppers, all these people in high positions and officials. They're saying it. And it's going to affect you much more because you knew that it was coming and you took not warning of it. So it's going to hit you more severe. But for those of us that listen and got our acts together and turned into YAHAWASHI, we see what he could do. He did it with our forefathers. He's been doing it with us even in these times. And he's going to continue to do it to those that trust in him. Barakatah Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. I'm going to end it on these scriptures right here. Ecclesiasticus 40:23. A friend and companion never meet amiss, but above both is a wife with her husband. Because a woman is going to want to be with her man in that day, in that time, especially a man of the Lord. Verse 24, brethren and help are against time of trouble. They did it in the book of Acts when the brethren in the churches helped out one another when the famine hit the earth. All we have is each other, the brethren. But what is better than them both? It says, brethren and help are against time of trouble. But alms, what we've been doing in this truth, feeding the lambs, feeding the sheep, like Yahawashi told Peter. If you love me, feed my lambs, feed my sheep. But alms shall deliver more than them both. Our daily epistles. Us giving you the warning, us giving you the comfort. All right? It says, gold and silver make a foot stand short. Now, when the money fails, as it did in Egypt in the ancient times, real money, what are we going to have? Wisdom is going to give life to them that have it. Gold and silver make the foot stand sure, but the counsel, or Salakia, but counsel is esteemed above them both. Whose counsel? The counsel of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI is esteemed above them both because he tells you, don't be afraid, neither doubt. I'm going to be your guide. The days of trouble are indeed at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. This what gives us comfort, the word of the Lord. Blessed is he that readeth. Verse 26, riches and strength lift up the heart. Yeah, when you got it and you're strong and you in your prime, man, your mind is lifted up. But what's greater than that? But the fear of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI is above them both. There is no want in the fear of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, and it needed not to seek help. The fear of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI is a fruitful garden. Ask any farmer that got his own crop. They living, they good. That's what the fear of the Lord is to those that trust in him. A fruitful garden. You have everything you need. You are not lacking nothing. The fear of the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI is a fruitful garden. and covereth him above all glory. Woo! As our power was with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all our forefathers in times of drought, in times of famine, in times of uncertainty, he was always there. Did any ever call on the Lord and was forsaken or confounded? None. So that we may boldly say, the Lord is our helper. We will not fear what man can do unto us. So with that, giving all praises, glory and honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors unto our apostles, my elders, my teachers at Great Millstone. Salutations, peace, and blessings unto you, hopeful elect members, to you brothers out there fighting this good fight of faith. Keep it up. To you sisters doing that which is becoming of women, Shalawam. And to those that are addicted unto this ministry, I say Shalawam. Lord's willingness has been an edifying lesson. Till the next time, I say Shalawam.